Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to Prowler Racing League Season number 7, Round 7, brought to you to the streets of Las Vegas. It is a sprint race tonight under the lights down the Vegas Strip, 3.8 miles long, 17 corners, 2 long DRS zones to watch for those overtakes into 5 and 14. Let's head on over to our intermission screen while we're getting ready here for everyone to ready up. So take a quick look at what our standings are right now, our team standings. McLaren out in front, 184 to Sauber, 168. Ferrari moving up, 96. Racing Bulls dropping down with 85. Aston Martin breaking even with 80. Red Bull moving up with 48. Haas dropping down 39. Alpine also dropping down 33, tying the Williams with 33. Mercedes 22. Those team standings going to be brought to you by your top 10. Here it is. Sasuke 122 getting past SC Fire. Unfortunately, SC Fire not here tonight, so he will be losing out some more points down to 102. That man, his teammate, moving up with 66 ahead of Vanilla with 65. Lone Fiber dropping down 62. 2 Asian 53. Dom, one of our reserves drivers, moving up 45. MLB the Show Me Your D, not here tonight, dropping down 44. Pro Ultra moving up into the top 10 with 43. And Dynamic rounding out your top 10 with 36. Looks like everyone is getting down to do qualifying. Real quick, here's the calendar. Last week was canceled, not everyone being able to attend, so we felt it was not worth the time to put it on, so we canceled last week. But tonight, before the holiday break, we are in Las Vegas for our sprint. So let's head down to the track, get ready for qualifying as the cars head on out to the track. Let's get rid of the in-game graphics. We'll pull up ours as soon as they load. We'll see if anybody has their telemetry not set correctly. So, looks like everyone's good. Other than, I believe that might be Chris. I believe that's Chris and our newcomer. Take a look at that real quick. Yeah, Zenitsu looks like the telemetry is not 100% correct. So we're on board with Pro Ultra as he heads out to track. Message to the teams. Okay, so lead car out in front is going to be Vanilla Spilla. We're going to stay here with Pro Ultra as he makes his way around the street circuit of Vegas. Vanilla's on the straightaway right now. Actually, it looks like we'll head out over to Vanilla as he will be setting the first timed lap for tonight. Just getting off of the back straight, heading down to the start-finish line. We'll get his timing pulled up here as he's coming across the line, starting his lap on the medium tires, heading down to turn number 1, rocking the pink livery of the Racing Bull. Oh, one of the Alpines getting in the way there. I think that was Rasha. Vanilla bouncing off the wall, going to abandon that lap. So let's head on over to Lone Fiber as he's coming around to start his timed lap. Doesn't look like Vanilla took any damage, but that is going to screw up his opening lap. Lone Fiber making his way through turn number 4, heading down with DRS down to the right-hander of turn 5. Setting the fastest first sector. And it looks like Zenitsu pipping that fastest first sector. Now Zenitsu, even though he is a new driver, he is allowed to qualify during the sprint. So we'll get a good taste of his speed going into this lap. A little bit of traffic there. Lone Fiber getting through no problem. Zenitsu setting a flying time. Not far behind, but Lone Fiber coming through the final corner across the line. 131.247. Let's head down to Zenitsu. Coming through turn 14, 15, 16 chicane. Almost looks like it bounced off the wall a little bit there, but continuing on. Purple mini sectors all throughout. Cross the line, a 131.179. Let's head over to, it's like the Aston Martin of Dynamics going to be the next one across the line. Here he comes through the final corner. Cross line 132.306. And I That Man moving up to P4 with a 131.309 or 390. So next up across the line is going to be F4. Up to P7 with a 131.648. Next up is going to be Vanilla with a proper time. Vanilla sets a 132.106. And Sasuke is coming through right now. Sasuke in currently P13, getting through the chicanes here at turn 15 and 16. Putting the power down on the mediums, mind you. Chris ahead there, coming across the line on the softs. Up to P11. Sasuke up to 131.466, puts him P5. Everyone else invalidating. Let's go check out the remaining car to set a time. Is going to be Boogie. Reserving in the Williams. Looking to hopefully get a tow from the Sauber ahead. Actually, everyone's set a time so far, so Boogie looking to improve. Personal best, first two sectors. Front tire's a little cold, but across the line, up to P12, the 132.330. Looks like everyone else has invalidated or heading into the pits. Yep, so now we're just waiting for everyone to come back around. Doesn't look like Sasuke and P5, they're coming out of the final chicane right now. They're more than likely going to be coming into the pits. F4 does have some wing damage. As you can see, they're coming to the pits right now. Oh, 2 Asians heading out. So we're going to stick with 2 Asian coming out of the pit lane right now. So he still has an out lap to do, and then he will be looking to set a time. So it looks like Chris retiring from the session, P13. So the only car out on track right now is going to be Dom in the Mercedes. Both Dom and 2 Asian electing to do mediums for this sprint qualifying session. Mind you, they do have to make their tires last for both the sprint qualifying, sprint race qualifying, and the Grand Prix. As we are now less than 3 minutes left in the qualifying session for the sprint race, we're going to see a flurry of cars leaving the pit lane, which unfortunately, Asian right now coming around to start his timed lap. He's going to have a little bit of traffic up ahead to complete this lap. A little bit of breathing room up ahead, so it's not as bad as the Alpine holding up Vanilla. Yellow flag's more than likely for the cars slowly moving, getting out of the way. Looks like traffic may have been a factor for Asian as he does not improve in that first sector. So we're going to keep an eye on Dom as he's coming around to start his time lap. Dom, purple mini sector, so we're going to check out him. So unfortunately, Asian did not improving. Purple mini sector through the first corner, but not through the rest of the sector. Does not look like he's going to improve much here on this final lap that Dom is putting in. And he does not improve. So we'll keep a close eye on the timing boards, but as it stands right now, not improving. But Rasha back in P10. Green mini sectors with 2 purple mini sectors will be improving. Oh, sorry, that was not Rasha. Zenitsu, purple mini sector at the first part of turn 1. So it looks like it's going to be a tight battle up at the front. Purple mini sectors all throughout. So Zenitsu putting down the fastest first sector. Eye that man taking it back. And then F4 hitting it hard. So this is going to be a very, very close fight for pole position. Rasha personal besting it so far. Tons of purple mini sectors. So this will be a absolute steaming lap as he's coming through up towards the front, coming down to the final corner flat out. Cross the line, Rasha, fastest lap, 131.155. But next up is going to be Pro Ultra. Coming around the final corner now. Cross the line, fastest, 136.71. Next up is going to be Zenitsu. Cross the line, only P2, 137.02. Next up is going to be Eye That Man. only P4, 131, 200. Sasuke crossed the line, only P4. Vanilla cruising along, currently P10. Let's see where he can go. We might catch him just in time. Cross the line, Vanilla, P5 with 131.074. And I believe Lone Fiber is going to be our last one to set a timed lap. Currently on the soft tires. Cross the line. P8 or P5. Telemetry goofed a little bit there. So your pole setter, Pro Ultra, with a 136.71. Let's get a screenshot of that real quick. Zenitsu pole in P2, 137.02. All right, so we're giving everyone their 5-minute warning. So we'll head to the intermission screen while we wait. Blazing fastest lap there. Let's go check, make sure our telemetry caught everything. Does look like it. Cool. So Pro Ultra, fastest lap, 130. So it looks like YouTube might be goofing up here. So, looks like there was a little bit of a technical difficulty. We're not broadcasting properly on YouTube for some reason, but it is showing that it is going through. So, we may have to mess with that in a bit. So I think we have a slight issue with YouTube's encoder issues. It's showing that I am broadcasting to YouTube. The YouTube is showing it's super delayed, though. But if you go to the actual YouTube website, it's not live. Super weird. Anyways, we'll figure it out after the stream. But for now, we've got 2 minutes left. I know we say this every time, but the 5 minutes might be too long on the sprint just because there is no strategy calls to make because of the because there's no pit stops that are required during the pit stop or during the sprints. Apologize, I'm trying to do some little behind the scenes, figuring out what's going on, but thankfully the Twitch is still broadcasting, so we can use that. But yeah, not sure what's going on. So again, that's the calendar. Let's head down to the track. We got less than a minute to go. All right, command has been sent for everyone to get readied up. Hear the beeps from the game. So it's getting ready to head us to the track. Formation lap for the sprint race. Getting us underway here. So we'll pull up our leaderboard real quick. So, Pro Ultra, your pole setter, leading us away. Then we got the Red Bull of Zenitsu P2. Going with the medium tires for tonight. Then we have F4 and the other Red Bull electing to do hards. Only a few drivers doing hards tonight for the sprint race. Then we got the first McLaren of Sasuke in P4, followed up by Lone Fiber P5. Then Vanilla P6. Followed up by Rasha in-game stop staying medium through the whole race. Rasha P7 on the mediums. Then we got I That Man electing hard tires for tonight. Followed up by Dom in the Mercedes on the mediums. Asian P10 on the mediums. Dynamic also going with the hards in the Aston Martin. Boogie in the Williams going with the mediums. And then Chris P13 going with the mediums as well. So let's head back up to the front as our drivers are coming on down the straightaways. Zenitsu car 99. Oh, so registration on that was not 99. It was another number, so we'll have to update that going forward. But sounds like the driver's bouncing off the wall as we're getting ready to come down to the start finish to line us up on the grid to get ready for tonight's sprint race. It's only 9 laps long. Pro Ultra starting on the hards up front. Everyone else slamming on the brakes to get to their grid boxes. Here we are lining up in their grid boxes, getting ready. So here we go. Game's getting us set. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. And we are racing for the sprint of the Las Vegas Grand Prix Prowler Racing League season number 7, round 7. And Zenitsu getting the lead early on. Big moves from Sasuke going around the outside. Oh, big contact there in the back. Looks like that might have been Vanilla, unfortunately, getting taken out early on. 100% wing damage, and the rear floor is also damaged, so expect him to retire the car. Oh, the Aston Martin of Dynamic going around as well, getting a 10-second penalty for severe collision with Boogie. We take a week off from low attendance. We come back and it's chaos as we're heading down to get onto the Vegas Strip. Zenitsu falling back. For your leader right now, Lone Fiber out in front. Rasha going for the move on the inside. Heading down to turn 14. Can't get the move done there. Mind you, no DRS yet. Asian right behind Rasha, making the move to the inside as they head around the fast final corner of the track. Lone Fiber leading us away. Side by side between Asian and Rasha. Asian getting the position up to P2. Rasha currently in P3. And Vanilla, unfortunately, retiring all the way down at turn 15. Cars are front to back, very close together. Yellow flag is out for a slow-moving car. That might have been Chris, while Dynamic is catching up in the back. Around the sphere they went. Now they're hanging on down through turn 10. Looking to the tight turn 12. Rasha locking up as they head onto the straightaway. Eye that man going wide, hitting the wall there. Looks like he lost out to Dom. So we head down to turn 14. DRS wide open for Lavar Field as they head through. Asian looking to the inside, tucks back in behind Lone Fiber as we curl through. Oh, big contact there. A lot of loud crunches and action happening. Sasuke up to P5 right now. Lone Fiber second fastest lap. Well, 134.134. So Rasha hunting down after Zenitsu. P3. Oh, Rasha getting very sideways, trying to put the power down. Going through turn 10 here. F4 chasing down Sasuke. Asian going for the move on the inside, down to 14. Can't get it done there. Lone Fiber holding on. F4 stuck behind the McLaren here. Zenitsu with a fast slap, 1:33.456. Sasuke right behind Rasha, taking the inside there, trying to get the power down early on with DRS, gets it done up to P4. F4 looking to capitalize as well, goes around the outside of Rasha. Gets it done. F4 on the hard tires, mind you. Heavy lockup as they head through into turn 8. Zenitsu flying, trying to catch Asian, looking to the inside as we head down the Vegas Strip. Asian defending a little bit, making it look like he's going for a move on Lone Fiber. Doesn't get it done as they head into 14-15. Oh, contact in the back. That man retiring from the session. Looks like he may have had some pretty massive damage as Dom is hit with a 10-second penalty for a severe collision with that man out. And Dom also retiring from the session, pulling to the pits and retiring. So as it stands, 3 cars out of the race so far. Your leader, Lone Fiber, out in front, being chased by the Ferrari of Asian and newcomer Zenitsu in P3 with Sasuke right behind. Not letting him get away. F4, the leading car on hards, currently in P5, staying with Sasuke as best as he can. So it looks like that incident that took that man out was the Alpine coming across the track. Down turn 14, nobody's making any moves yet. They're line to stern. Top 5 all together here. With Pro Ultra just in the back there, looking to see if he can catch him. Come around the final corner. We are starting lap 6, 4 laps left to go in the sprint here in Vegas. So Lone Fiber still getting absolutely harassed as it heads down to turn 14. We lost our telemetry. Shoot. Get that back up before the end of the race. So Zenitsu up to P2, Lone Fiber leading us away. Sasuke getting up all the way to P2. Pro Ultra picks up a 3-second time penalty for a corner cut. Coming down the long straightaway, Lone Fiber. Not sure if Fiber's going to let Sasuke go through for championship points. Looks like the Red Bulls are racing for it as we come through. Start lap number 8 of 9. On board, you can see how fast they are heading through into 7 and 8 around the sphere. Lone Fiber holding his own so far in this sprint race. Through to the final corner now. Final lap here in Vegas for the sprint. As the Ferrari bounces off the wall there. Through 9 onto the heavy braking for everyone. Oh, as they come through onto the Vegas Strip for the final time of this sprint race. Your leader, again, we're having technical difficulties. It is broadcasting to YouTube, but for some reason it's not making it live as we are heading down through the final corners onto the straightaway. Down to the final corner, Lone Fiber across the line, winning the sprint, followed up by Sasuke Zenitsu F4 Pro Ultra. Then we got next up coming across the line is going to be Two Asian. Then we've got Chris in Mercedes. Close battle right now between Dynamic and Rasha. Dynamic going deep, losing out to Rasha. Chris comes across the line. Rasha getting ahead of Dynamic. Dynamic off the wall. Finishing out the sprint in P10. But your winner for the sprint race, Lone Fiber. So let's get a screenshot of that real quick. This is the one I want. Race director. Okay. Okay, so we'll continue on. We'll head to the intermission screen while everyone gets ready for the actual Grand Prix next. So now everyone's going to select their tires to run in this qualifying session for the Grand Prix. Double check again why the YouTube is not going live. It's showing here. Yeah, according to what YouTube is showing me, it's still on lap 6. So it's very delayed for some reason. It's not going. But anyways, says it's going healthy and strong. It's still live, but for some reason it's not showing up on the actual YouTube. Weird. So let's head down to the track. Get ready for when people head out. Yeah, I know, because I do have a window set up that I can watch the live on YouTube and the live on Twitch just to make sure everything's going good. And YouTube's not coming up. I click it a million times, it's not going. But I have a browser that is sending the YouTube live, the studio, it is showing that it's live. Like, it's super weird. All right, so we got cars heading on the track. Looks like the first one out is going to be Sasuke. So let's head down to him as he's going to give us our first time lap of this qualifying session. There we go. Okay, so Sasuke coming around to the final corner as he gets his timing going here. $15 minutes left to go in this qualifying session. Not everyone out on track yet. So looks like Dynamic setting the fastest first sector, taking away from Sasuke. Sasuke heading down to turn 14. A little bit of traffic up ahead. They should get out of his way, and they do, allowing him to come through full speed to get that time lap in. Not a whole lot of room, but gets it done. 1:31.059 to start us off. Next up across the line is going to be Asian on the mediums. Next is going to be Dynamic here, purpling the first sector. up to P2, 131.083. Let's head on down to I That Man. Sound like a crunch. Chris left the session. Hopefully we can get him another invite to get him back in. Ferrari's getting out of the way there. Great sportsmanship as I That Man barrels on through. Coming up to the sharp turn 12 to get onto the Vegas Strip. Personal best times, ERS deploying all while heading down the straightaway. Not getting a tow from the McLaren. Bouncing off the wall, sets time P3 of the 131.180. We'll head on down to F4. Heavy lockup there through turn 7. Heading onto the Vegas Strip now. Let's see what F4 can do. And Zenitsu sets a time as they were not supposed to. Being a rookie driver, they were not supposed to set a time for qualifying tonight, so that is going to be a 10-second penalty unless they disqualify themselves from the qualifying session. F4 goes up to P2, 130.956. So let's head on. We're looking at Rasha setting a time now, 2 Asian on the mediums, looking to set another time. Comes into the pits. Next up is going to be Boogie in the Williams. P8 with a 131.881. So nobody's setting a timed lap right now. And let's go down to Pro Ultra in the Ferrari. Looking to set a time, has not set a time yet. .26.201 in the first sector. About a 10th off the fastest first sector. So Pro Ultra doing a pretty decent time so far to get a time on the board. .29.745 in the middle sector. Coming down to turn 14, getting off the Vegas Strip. Cross the line, Pro Ultra up to P2, 1:38.85. So let's head on over to, let's head on down to Boogie in the Williams. Around the track, personal best in the first sector, so this will improve. So Zenitsu disqualified from the session to avoid the 10-second penalty later on. So that's going to promote Pro Ultra up to P1. Boogie, personal best. And validates, unfortunately. So let's head to another drive that's second time. Lone Fiber, the winner from the sprint. Personal best in the first sector, not improving in the middle sector. So let's see, 2 Asian personal besting first and second sector. Cross the line up to P7 from P11 with the 1:31.383. Just under 5.5 minutes in this qualifying session. Pro Ultra, your pole setter with a 1:38.85. Two Asian not improving. So Lone Fiber with wing damage, setting another time down. Asian actually, it looks like he's pushing on, even though nope, he just invalidated there. So that lap is done. So nobody else on the track right now except for Lone Fiber, who finished a lap. It's full ERS, so I don't know if he's going to be attacking again. Doesn't look like it. Those soft tires are pretty worn right now for another qualifying lap. Boogie making his way out onto the track now. So Lone Fiber not improving on this lap at all. So we'll head on over, watch Boogie on his out lap, warming the tires up, getting himself ready to attack the Vegas Strip. Cross line Boogie starting a timed lap here. Nobody out in front of him. So the car out in front of him right now is Pro Ultra. Keep a close eye on him as he comes around. Just under 3 minutes left. Plethora of vehicles coming out onto track to set a time. Boogie coming down through turn number 10. Pro Ultra slowing down, getting out of the way of Boogie. Just barely. Boogie making his way through down turn 12. Keep a close eye on this, and we're going to watch this lap to the final just to see where he does. And Pro Ultra is going to be the next car across the line to start a lap. 1 minute and 40 seconds left to go in the qualifying session. Boogie improving so far here on his final lap. Through the final corner. 1:31.649 is going to be his time. So let's head to Pro Ultra. Leading the pack so far. We will go and watch his telemetry as he is attacking the final lap here at Vegas. Off the wall there. Keeps it going. Not improving in the first sector. I that man playing the fastest first sector back in P5. Let's see if Pro can pull something out here. To the second sector, see if he improves. He does. Personal best in the middle sector. F4 Purple Mini Sector, Sasuke with the fastest first sector. That battery just going away. 218 miles per hour. Heavy braking into 14. Across the line, Pro Ultra does not improve. So let's go check out F4. Actually, next one, let's go check out. So I that man across line P3, 131.05 or 045. Next up is going to be Sasuke across the line. Dynamic up to P2, 138.98. Sasuke across the line. Fastest 136.48. Cross line, but not far behind. You've got F4 finishing up his lap. Let's see what he can do. Cross the line. Pips it 135.91 for the Red Bull. That's going to be fastest lap for F4. So let's get a screenshot of this real quick. All right, command has been sent to everyone to give themselves their 5-minute break, get their strategies all set. So great qualifying lap there from F4. Getting ahead of Suske just at the end. Pro Ultra P3. So it looks like everything's going good so far. So yeah, so for some reason, YouTube is just not cooperating. But we will get it uploaded to the YouTube once we're done, so everyone can view it. Thank you for everyone coming into the Twitch version of my personal Twitch. If you guys want to get some of the behind-the-scenes call-outs as we're going on. 3 minutes left to go. Letting everyone get themselves a slight break. These sprint race nights are a little long, but worth it. So we saw the chaos that happened in the sprint. Hopefully that will not happen in the Grand Prix. So again, real quick, as we're waiting till we start, here's the calendar. Again, after tonight, we are taking a break for the holidays to let some people spend time with their family and friends, those who they actually want to spend time with. Hopefully, we'll get some new drivers over the break. People getting the new game or getting the game for the first time, wanting to join some league racing. They're more than welcome to join us. Then we're back January 4th for Canada for a multi-stop race. Still have to figure out how many stops we're going to do. Then following up after that is a sprint in Austria, which will be a fun one. Then we're in Hungary, January 18th, followed up by China, January 25th, and finishing Season 7, February 1st, with a multi-stop around Spa. 1 minute left to go. Get ready to send the command, everybody. Hopefully everyone got to do their breaks, their potty breaks. And the track is frozen. Not surprised. Looks like there's some discussions going on in our paddock channel. Everyone's keeping it clear in the race day chat, which we appreciate, to get these commands out as soon as we can. The go command has been sent, so everyone can ready up. We'll head down to the track to get ready. We'll go through our lineup as we go around on the formation lap. There's the beeps. Here we are. Formation lap underway. So, your pole setter, F4, starting us off. What in the world? Okay, that was pointless. Anyways, Sasuke, P2. Followed by Pro Ultra in P3. Lone Fiber, P4. Dynamic in the Aston Martin P5. I That Man, looking to not hit the wall this time, P6. Ferrari 2 Asian. Oh, real quick. Pit stop strategy, medium to hard, or medium hard. We'll keep an eye on that. So far, your top 3 are on hards, then medium, hard. Asians on the mediums. Then Dom on the mediums. Rasha electing to do mediums as well. Vanilla on the mediums in P10. Boogie on the mediums, P11. Chris, who I'm not sure, I don't think he came back. I think he disconnected and he is done for the night. In P12. And then Zenitsu, newest driver on the hards, starting P13. Be great to see how Zenitsu gets on. We saw how fast Zenitsu was during the sprint race, so to watch what happens during the actual Grand Prix is going to be great. The unfortunate thing is, as we're going along here, F4 out in front just sitting there waiting for the rest of the field to come back around. Those tire temps are going to be dead cold. As you can see, blues across the board. Sasuke getting a nice green mix. Blue for Pro, blue for Lone. So it will be an interesting start to the race, to say the least, as the field makes their way to the start-finish line, getting ready for the Grand Prix. The AI of Chris making its way around the final corner. Temperatures just falling off on these tires as we're coming through. 25 laps compared to the 9 laps we had for the sprint. Let's get ready for the race here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights here in Vegas, and we are racing for the Grand Prix here. Sasuke getting side by side with F4. F4 making contact there in the backside of Sasuke. Sasuke making sure he stays up there. Lone Fiber also staying right with him. So we head down the long straightaway down to 5. F4 dropping back to P2. Sasuke staying on the inside, denying F4 as we're coming through. Again, race strategy is going to be medium to hard, or medium hard. Through into turn 7 and 8. Everyone relatively keeping it clean except for Dom in the back. Does get wing damage. Falling back a little bit. F4 under attack from Lone Fiber. So head down to turn 12. No DRS on the opening lap here. Oh, looks like F4 took out that bollard early on. Possibly cutting the corner. The Lone Fiber using ERS to get through. Pro Ultra keeping this ERS relatively alive. Through on the inside, F4 looks for it, can't get it done. May have made contact with Sasuke. Lone Fiber making contact there with F4. All while it's happening, Pro Ultra closing in, so close behind Lone Fiber. As we head down through the final corner, Pro Ultra getting on the inside of Lone Fiber. We are too wide through the final corner. Pro Ultra all the way up to P2. Getting past F4 and Lone. Dynamic up to P5 right now. DRS is available to our drivers. You can see that rear wing opening up. Got a stationary car there. Looks like that might be Vanilla. Vanilla with front wing damage and rear wing damage. He will more than likely retire the car as he goes straight on in 100% the wing in the front. So that is race over for Vanilla. Trying to reverse it against the wall. There he goes, takes the wheel off. He is out of the race. Vanilla retiring from the Grand Prix. Virtual safety car is called. neutralizing the field. So that's going to stay for a little while here until we go back to racing. Nobody can overtake, but everyone's got to keep within their deltas. It's a great opportunity for everyone to try to recharge their ERS. Coming down to the final corner, Sasuke out in front by 1.5 seconds. Everyone else keeping it relatively close together, but they got to be careful of their deltas that they do not exceed that time. As they come around, turn. Oh, there's the contact we were afraid was going to happen. F4 making contact with the front end of Pro Ultra, slowing down abruptly to keep within their deltas. Everyone bunched up. Contact was made. We are back to green flag racing. No wing damage reported on F4's car. So it's just a little bit of a love tap. The game graphics giving us a little bit of a fling of dirt or something. Here we are in lap 3 of 25. Your top 7, keeping it very close here so far. Let's see here. So your top 9 all within 8 seconds of the leader. Pro Ultra sets a purple middle sector. Taking a look at our loss and gain. Sasuke and Pro both moving up, F4 dropping down. Lone Fiber breaking even so far, P4. 2 Asian up 2. Dynamic down 1. Zenitsu, we feared would be moving through the field pretty good. Up 6 positions, picks up fastest lap, 138.702 for the race so far. Up to P7. Dom hitting that fastest lap on the medium tires, 136.922. We didn't look at the weather forecast as we started this race. It is going to be clear all night, so no issues there. Pro Ultra working hard to close that gap. Was 1.5 seconds down to 0.7 now. So to clarify why someone's saying 0 battery, so that car that's in 12th position is currently an AI driver, and the telemetry is not being sent, so that's why that one is sitting at 0%. And it's just an AI driving them around. Verify that real quick. Yep. So our driver Chris left the session, so it's just a AI driving around. As we head down to turn 14, Sasuke locking it up hard, heading through, keeping the train behind him. The Pro Ultra not letting him get away as they come through the final corner flat out as they head down. F4 picking up the fastest lap. Pro Ultra looking to the inside of Sasuke. Can't get it done. All the while, everyone else behind pushing to try to push him through. Move from F4 on the inside. Can't get it done. Tucks in behind DRS wide open. Pro Ultra making the DRS flop. Open and close as they head down to turn 5. Right now, the gap from Pro Ultra to F4 closing ever so slightly, still staying really close. Lone Fiber back there in P4, not letting this group get away. Getting very sideways there for Lone Fiber. head down the Vegas Strip under the lights. Looks like Zenitsu making a move on 2 Asian up to P5 now. Mind you, Zenitsu started on the hard tire, so he's going to go quite a while with that Red Bull. Making up more positions now from starting from the back. Let's actually take a look at what the tire life expectancy is. So these hard tires, you're looking for anywhere between lap 13 and 15, whereas everyone else on the mediums are only going about 10 to 12 laps, which might be a bit of a tall order. Let's take a look at what the tire wear is right now for everyone in the field. So mostly, oh, Dom picks up a 10-second penalty for speeding in the pit lane, and he retires from the session as well. So we are now down to 11 running cars. We're on lap 6 of 25 here at Vegas. Your leader, Sasuke, out in front. Yellow flag came out. That was for, looks like the Aston Martin of Dynamic. Let's head back down with him and see what's going on there. Front wing damage. Looks like 56% on the front left. As you can see, the end plate is completely gone. So it looks like Dynamic, or 86% missing on that front left. So Dynamic collecting the wall at some point, unfortunately dropping him all the way down to P9 now, with that man hunting him down right behind. All while this is happening, back at the front, still a very close train. Sasuke leading us away, 6/10 back to Pro Ultra. F4, 3/10 behind that. DRS wide open for everybody. So no one really gaining an advantage there, as those in front that are trying to use it to catch Sasuke are also using it to defend against the cars behind them. So your top 3 all on the hard tire, predicting a pit stop closer to lap 16. Pro Ultra gain that gap ever so down. Sasuke did have a lead of 1.5. Now it's only half. As we're heading down the Vegas Strip. Once again, DRS wide open for 2 through 6. As we head down turn 14, see if anybody makes a move. And nobody does. The gap now from Sasuke to Pro is now down to 3/10. As we fly through the final corner onto the main straight, past the purpose-built paddock area here in Vegas. Oh! Lone Fiber getting out of sorts in the back there. Dropping back. Did collect a little bit of wing damage, and he will be passed by the other Ferrari of 2 Asian. Let's go check out Lone Fiber, see how he's doing after that collection of the wall. He keeps Asian behind him, but again, does have that little bit of damage to his car. It's only yellow, so he's still going. Again, 13% on that front wing damage. Those rear tires absolutely screaming so far. Sound like more drivers hitting the wall. Not the case, but we are heading down the Vegas Strip once again. Now here will be the interesting thing. Will F4 allow the faster Red Bull of Zenitsu through? As we head down to turn 14, both on the same hard tire strategy. Zenitsu very much the faster of the two, not by much. But Pro Ultra, your new leader, getting past Sasuke. Sasuke taking it back, going side by side through turn 1. All while F4 looking to take advantage. Side by side contact made into the wall. Continuing on. Let's see who got the DRS. Sasuke got the DRS. Pro Ultra still in the lead, but Sasuke taking it through turn 5. All the while, the two Red Bulls right on the heels of our leaders. Great battle through the high-speed final corner. We're on lap 9 of 25. This would have been the final lap for the sprint, but we just finished. They still got plenty more laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Lone Fiber sitting at 50% in the rears, 2 Asian 54% between his two rear tires. So those guys are going to be pitting pretty soon for those mediums. Again, mediums 10 to 12 laps, so they're just hitting that window now. Hards are going to be 13 to 15. Oh, the Red Bull of F4 bouncing off the wall, allowing his teammate Zenitsu through. That little mistake now allows Lone Fiber to close that gap ever so closer. So Lone Fiber on the faster mediums, but they are degrading much higher than the hard tires of those in front. Lone Fiber thinking about making a move. Stays tucked in behind. Zenitsu with 10 positions gained from the start of the race. That man picking up a warning for a corner cut. Nobody with time penalties right now. Keeping it clean for the most part. So head back up to the front. Pro Ultra staying right on that gearbox of Sasuke as they head down to turn 14. Pro Ultra looking for the outside. Can't get it done. But hopefully to get more grip out of 16 as we head down the straightaway to the start finish. Sasuke defending as best he can. ERS recovering as they head through the final corner. Sasuke still leading us away into turn 1. Into the hard braking of turn 5. Pro Ultra 410's back to Sasuke. Zenitsu closing it even closer. So pretty soon Pro Ultra is going to have to make a decision whether or not he keeps attacking Sasuke or starts defending against Zenitsu. We'll see what he decides to do. Mind you, both Red Bulls are on the hard tires, so they're going to have to try to split their pit stops. Whereas the McLaren have a split strategy. Lone Fiber will have to pit before Sasuke. We are on lap number 11. Zenitsu going for the move. Tucks back in behind Pro Ultra. Doesn't get it done through turn 14. But he's filling that mirror, letting him know, I'm here. I'm not going anywhere. The Ferrari's also splitting the strategy as well as 2 Asians on the medium. Pro Ultra on the hards. Come around, start lap number 12 here in Vegas. Zenitsu, DRS wide open, tucks back in as we head to turn 5. Again, just filling the mirrors of Pro Ultra, letting him know he's there. Rasha into the pits. Coming out onto the hard tires. Getting off the mediums on lap 11. So we'll give you, here's our top 3 for speed trap wise. Pro Ultra fastest with 219, F4 sitting at 218, and 2 Asians sitting at 217. So the 2 Ferraris looking to be the fastest of the cars so far. Zenitsu looking for a move here. Pro Ultra, your new leader, getting past Sasuke. Sasuke now on the inside of Zenitsu. Zenitsu up to P2. Sasuke dropping down to P3. Now soon to be under attack from F4. So Pro Ultra, your new leader, out in front. 7/10 back to Zenitsu. This is still a very close battle with these cars in the top 4. Oh, 2 Asian pick up a 10-second speeding in the pit lane penalty. Couldn't get it slowed down in time. So pretty much all the medium tire cars completing their pit stops. So now it's up to the hard tire drivers to make their moves. Sasuke, because he had to defend for so long, his rears are cooked. As you can see, 57% average across the rear. Whereas Pro Ultra has kept his tires pretty alive, only 49% average across the rears. Zenitsu sitting at 52%. But Zenitsu closing in ever so more. Heavy braking into 12 before we hit the Vegas strip here. Oh, 2 Asian pick up another 10-second penalty for corner cutting. Zenitsu looking to the inside. DRS wide open. Closing in ever so close. And Zenitsu up to the lead. Heading down to turn number 14. Pro Ultra understanding the long game. Not fighting that too hard. Knowing that we're on lap 13 of 25. Sasuke diving into the pits. So he's the first car of our leading pack to come in to get changed over. Into the pit lane he goes. Changing over to the medium tires. So it looks like he's going to lose out to his teammate. There he goes to his teammate. And then 2 Asian coming around the corner right now, but can he get out in front of the Ferrari? And he does. So now Sasuke on brand new mediums has his teammate directly ahead of him. So we'll probably see the McLarens do a little bit of team strategy and let Sasuke through to catch the group in front to make sure that this outlap is not wasted as our leaders are coming around to do their next pit stops. While this is happening, it looks like we do have lap traffic coming up for our leaders. That is the bot for Chris driving around. I wish we could just retire that car, but we can't do anything about that. Zenitsu going to have to go around the traffic as best he can and not lose a whole lot of time to those 2 cars behind him, and also not to lose out time to Sasuke, as Sasuke is flying on his outlap, still behind his teammate though. The AI not really getting out of the way there, unfortunately, so drivers continuing on. Let's see what Zenitsu does. He continues on. Pro Ultra diving into the pits. Coming in, switching to the mediums as well. Let's see where he comes out onto the track. You can see on the mini map you've got the first McLaren going past of Lone Fiber. Sasuke going past as well. Let's see what the gap is as he comes out of the pit lane. 1.1. So Pro Ultra did lose a little bit of time on Sasuke's in-lap, or out-lap, I should say. So now the interesting strategy is going to be, what does Red Bull do? Because you have the faster Zenitsu leading us away 1.3 seconds back to F4. F4 with the worst tire wear of the two, sitting at 69% in his rear average to 61 of Zenitsu's. Let's see if both cars decide to pit at the same time. Hopefully not. Sasuke setting in the fastest first sector, 27.179. Here we come down to start finish. Lone Fiber, unfortunately, it looks like he's holding up his teammate, or they're doing the toe down the straightaway. We'll see who gets out in front as we head down to turn 14. So we have their leader, Zenitsu, coming to the pits first. F4 taking the lead, 10 laps left to go. Out he goes. The Red Bull into the pits. Sasuke does get past his teammate. Now Lone Fiber's going to play defense against Pro Ultra. Sasuke, fastest lap, getting past Zenitsu now. So does Pro Ultra. So great outlap there from Pro Ultra. But now it's all down to the defense of Lone Fiber against Pro Ultra. So can Lone Fiber use the DRS to stay with his teammate ahead and keep Pro Ultra behind? Gap now between Sasuke and F4, only 10.5 seconds. So this is going to drop F4 back significantly. Currently almost more than a second off the pace on those 15-lap-old hard tires, whereas Sasuke's on brand new mediums, only 2 laps old, just absolutely cranking out the lap right now. Gap now down to 9.6. So if we go here with F4, predicting his rejoin position will be P6. So behind his teammate, but ahead of 2 Asian is what the game is predicting. Here he comes down, moving to the inside, getting ready for that pit stop. Let's keep a close eye. Can he slow it down in time? Not pick up penalty. He does so into the pit lane. F4, your leader, comes in. Sasuke getting past. Lone Fiber, Pro Ultra getting past. Zenitsu getting past. Where's Asian? Asian getting past as well. So tough break there for F4, falling back all the way down to P6 as the game predicted. So as it looks like everyone has done their pit stops for tonight. So let's head back up. Traffic getting around Chris's AI, I should say. Sasuke leading us away 1.2 seconds back. Pro Ultra getting past Lone Fiber finally. Looks like the traffic of the blue flag for Chris's car causing a little bit of a commotion. So we head down through turn 10. Pro Ultra's gap back to Lone Fiber growing as predicted. So now what we're going to keep a close eye on is Zenitsu closing in on Lone Fiber. 1 second back now. Not within DRS range here on the straightaway, but still closing in ever so slightly because he's just hovering right around 1 second. DRS detection zone between 4 and 5 is just out of the exit of 2. Down the straightaway. Zenitsu, 8/10 back, will get DRS in this next zone. Pro Ultra closing the gap down to 1.2 to Sasuke. Zenitsu within half a second now. Lone Fiber going to have to defend against Zenitsu. Takes to the inside. Zenitsu doing a little bit of a wall bounce there. Getting the better traction out of the corner due to being on the medium tires. Lone Fiber defending, putting his elbows out, going down the middle of the track, preventing Zenitsu from gaining that position. Again, Lone Fiber on the hard tires compared to the medium tires. That delta about a half a second faster to the hard tires. So Zenitsu looking for, as we come down onto the Vegas Strip, 3/10 back. He's going to have DRS as we get across the detection zone into the DRS zone. Lone Fiber going for the defensive move on the inside. Rear wing wide open. Zenitsu up to P3. So the gap from Pro Ultra to our leader, half a second as we come down to the main straight, across the line. Dynamic retiring from the session in the pit lane. His race is now done, so we are down to 9 actual drivers still running. Chris in the Mercedes and P10 is an AI as it stands, so will not be collecting points tonight. So Zenitsu hunting down Pro Ultra in front. Pro Ultra going after Sasuke. So let's go through a little bit of a race rundown so far, race story, as this fight is continuing on. Sasuke started P2, currently in first place, defending against Pro Ultra. Pro Ultra started third, currently in second, on 1 lap younger medium tires to the leader. Gap still rear out half a second. Then further, 1.5 seconds back, you got Zenitsu. Started 13th as our rookie driver. Now all the way up to third position. Closing in ever so slightly. Next up, P4. Lone Fiber breaking even. Pro Ultra, your new leader. As we head down to turn 14. You can see there as Pro Ultra heads through. Lone Fiber started fourth, currently in fourth, breaking even for tonight. F4, your pole position setter, currently sitting in fifth with all to do going forward. Next up, you got 2 Asian with his 20 seconds of penalties. He's coming into the pits now. Hopefully slows it down in time to not pick up another 10 seconds. He does so. So now he's going to serve the 10-second penalty, and he retires from the session. So that is the Ferrari out of the race. He left the game as well. So now we're down to 8 running cars. Boogie starting 11th, currently in 8th. And then Chris's AI car bringing up the rear. So that is your race story right now. 8 drivers finishing this race so far. We're on lap 20 of 25. Not sure if Asian finished the... No, percentage-wise, he didn't finish it. So he won't be scoring points, unfortunately. So Pro Ultra, huge gap now to Sasuke. Sasuke 2.2 back. So something must have happened while we're going through that rundown. Oh, yeah, Sasuke does have front wing damage. So looks like he tapped the wall or made contact somewhere. Zenitsu getting past up to P2. Sasuke dropping down to P3. As we heard through turn 16. Flat out through the final corner. 5 laps left to go. Pro Ultra leading us away 1.7 back to Zenitsu. Sasuke P3, Lone Fiber P4, F4, P5. Your pole setter dropping all the way back to P5. I That Man P6, Rasha P7, and Boogie P8. So we're going to keep an eye on here. We got a few laps left to go. Let's watch this gap. See if Zenitsu can drop it even closer down. Game is predicting 1 lap time. You'll be within fighting distance, but that gap still sitting right around 1.7 now. So Pro Ultra with less ERS available to Zenitsu. Zenitsu using up all the battery that he can as well. Trying to close that gap. So Pro Ultra with the faster first and second sector. It's going to be a tall order. 4 laps left to go for Zenitsu to close this in. So the field is pretty much spread out as we're getting into the final laps here. Gap not really getting closer, but F4's gap to Lone Fibers under a second now. So let's head back down by those guys. So if F4 can keep it within a second as we head down through turn 11 to turn 12, as they come onto the long straightaway of the Vegas Strip, the detection zone right here, he is close enough. You're going to see that rear wing open up of F4 as we head down to turn 14. Let's see what F4 does. Does he go for the inside or outside? He goes for the outside option. Side by side, locking it up, going a little bit wide. Can't get it done, but Lone Fiber getting very sideways out of the exit of 14. F4 keeping it so close. Down the front straight. F4 going for the move on the inside, gets it up to P4. Lone Fiber doing everything he can to defend on those hard tires, but the medium and speed of F4 gets him through up to P4. Lone Fiber looking to return the favor. Can't get it done. Look to the inside. Couldn't break it in time. As we head into turn number 7. So Zenitsu getting it down to almost a second. See if he can continue to close the gap. He's got to get even a little bit closer to get that DRS. And he won't have it. It's too far back. 1.68. Oh, just under a second now. Across the detection. He should have DRS. He does. There's a rear wing opening up, closing in even closer to Pro Ultra as we head down to 14. It's not going to happen here, but now he's right on the gearbox of the Ferrari as we head through turn 16 down to the straightaway. Flat out through 17, across the line. 2 laps left to go. Zenitsu right on the gearbox of the Ferrari Pro Ultra as we head through turn 1 and to turn 2 through the detection zone around 3. Be surprised if a move gets made here as we head down to turn number 5. Zenitsu going for it. Tucks back in, doesn't make it happen there. Breaks into turn 5. Staying right with Pro Ultra on the gearbox, not letting him get away. Pro Ultra going a little bit wide there. Zenitsu with the tire advantage 1 lap younger than Pro Ultra's tires. Both of them pretty much have full battery at this point. It is a head-to-head battle between these two. Your new leader, Zenitsu, up to the lead, getting just past Pro Ultra. Pro Ultra right on the gearbox, not letting him get away. DRS wide open onto the long straightaway down to the Vegas Strip. 14 is where a lot of moves happen. No move made here. Pro Ultra staying right with them. Final lap. The Red Bull of Zenitsu leading us away with Pro Ultra right on the gearbox, getting a little sideways out of 1. Pro Ultra looking to capitalize on the slight mistake. As we head down to turn number 5, Pro Ultra thinks about a move, tucks back in. Little bit of a wall contact there. Possibly the game audio does some tricks sometimes. But as we head into 7 here, past the sphere, Zenitsu leading away by 4/10. Both drivers deploying their ERS. Zenitsu turning it off ever so slightly as he comes to the breaking point of 12. Pro Ultra dropping back 6/10 now, 7/10 back. Still within DRS at the detection point. Let's see what he can do. I think he might be too far back to make a move. Rear wing is open. Zenitsu going right up against the wall to close the distance down to turn 14. Pro Ultra too far back to make a move there as they head through the chicane of 16 onto the straightaway. Zenitsu heading down to the final corner. Pro Ultra right on his gearbox. Cross the line, Zenitsu by a very tight margin. Sasuke bring up P3, Lone Fiber P4, F4 P5. I That Man bring us through for P6. Boogie coming down the straightaway. Cross the line, Boogie P7. And then Rasha, our final runner, P8. And your winner, Zenitsu, on debut for the Grand Prix win. And that is going to do it for Vegas tonight. Zenitsu on debut, winning the Grand Prix. Let's get a screenshot of this. Driver of the day and most overtakes, race winner. Fastest lap, Sasuke bring up the fastest lap. So here's the results. Look at that one. I want the race results. That's what I want. Screenshot that. Okay. So head over to our intermission screen. That was one heck of a Vegas weekend, sprint weekend we started with, and then finishing the Grand Prix. Very rough race for a lot of our drivers. After missing 1 week, now our driver's going to have to take a slight vacation for 2 weeks until we come back in the new year for Canada, January 4th. Thanks, everyone, for coming out tonight. Appreciate you. Apologies for the technical difficulties with YouTube. That should be getting back up later on. But for now, thanks for coming out, and we'll see you guys next year